Hey, it's Wilco the Kreij here with all of you, and today I wanted to talk to you all about opportunity. And the reason why I want to talk about opportunity today is actually because of two reasons. First of all, is because like last night it was the same, and I have this conversation many times with people who tell me like, oh, like it's so cool. I would love to be an entrepreneur, and all I want, right? You've probably heard this. People say this as well. I'm just waiting for the right idea. I'm just waiting until that right idea, and then I'll start something. Like, right? Come on, guys. Like, if you're waiting for it, it's not gonna happen, right? But all right, bear with me for sure. And because when I got started, I had that same feeling initially, right? And after a while, I discovered something that like, all right, this is working. And I started my first business, and then it went like, for some of you who know me, like I went back to zero a couple times actually. And after I had to come up with something new, I actually found a method that every single time, if I look for a new opportunity, even if it's not just there, I can actively look for it, and I'll always be able to find it. I want to share what that is and how that is. So that's the first reason. And secondly, it's because of something that happened earlier this week, right? So earlier this week, we had a problem in our business. And if you have a business, then I'm pretty sure that you get problems all the time, because as an entrepreneur, your job is to put out fires, right? Whatever it is. Could be one of your biggest clients leaving, could be your supplier going bankrupt, could be as your SEO rankings drop, you're losing all your traffic, or your Facebook ad account is being shut down, or whatever it is, right? So there's a lot of different problems. And for those of you who know me, as mentioned, like I've been going back to zero a couple times. And one of those times was when my Google AdWords account got shut down. Like literally all my traffic, well, 99%, 99.9% of traffic came from Google AdWords. Right now it's called Google Ads. And they literally shut it down, literally overnight. And that was the moment when I got that email, like I was not able to recover it from that quickly, right? I can say it laughing now, and because I've told the story many times, but when that problem for me, like I was able to get over problems, right? But that was too big of a problem for me to overcome and really turn it around in my mind and just move forward. It took me a long time. I think it took like 6 months before I really recovered and like felt I was back in action again, right? And that really stopped me for quite a bit. And over time, when you get problems like that in your business, it helps you put things in perspective, because after a while, it's sort of like a muscle. You know, like whatever the problem is, I can fix it, right? And it sounds a bit, like I'm full of myself, but like at some point you just know, like whatever the problem is, I can fix it. I can freaking fix it, right? So earlier this week, we actually had a problem as well, because in our business, like we have two parts of our business. We have Up Viral and we've got Connect.io. Like I've got the shirt on me right now. And inside Connect.io, we have various tools. All of these tools are meant for Facebook advertisers to help you increase your Facebook ads ROI. So if you're a Facebook advertiser, go to connectio.io and check it out, because all of these tools, they'll help you get a higher ROI on your ads. And one of these tools, it's called Connect Explore. Connect Explore is a tool to help you find more interest, right? So find better interest that you can actually target and just help you with your Facebook ads targeting a whole lot. And part of that tool also, besides finding and adding those targeting to your Facebook ads account, what you can also do, what you were also able to do, is actually see for every one of those interests, which one is performing the best, which is a really cool feature, which we are getting from the Facebook ads API. So the way that works, like Facebook doesn't show that information inside the ad platform, but they through developers like our tools, we're able to get that data from Facebook and then show it to our customers, which is really, really cool. Unless they shut it down, which they did earlier this week. And usually that's fine, because they give you like 3 or 4 or 5 months notice. This time, for some reason, was an exception. So they just said like, all right, here you have the data. Let me just switch it off. And they did. So when that happened, there's also a big problem, right? Because like I care for our customers. So when we have to remove a feature like that, that's a problem, right? And if I would have had that problem a couple of years ago, I would have been devastated, right? And right now I've learned, right? So whenever there's a problem, right? Whenever there's a problem means there's something that's changing, right? And that's usually causing the problem. Again, whatever that is. And now I've learned over time, like whenever you have a problem, all you need to do is like, and it sounds easy, but give yourself a break and like give yourself like a certain amount of time to just feel sorry for yourself, right? So I felt sorry for myself for like an hour, and then I was like, right, that was the time I needed. Now, like feeling sorry for myself is not going to help. So now let's go and dive into action, whatever it takes, right? And if you're not sure how to do that, like if it's not easy for you to overcome that thought, then my best suggestion would be to surround yourself with people who are as proactive. Because if you surround yourself with people who are not as proactive and who are also feeling very sorry for themselves, and trust me, you're going to feel sorry for yourself as well, and it's not going to help you take action, right? So first thing, make sure you just feel sorry for yourself for a short amount of time, and then you actually go and take action. And it's funny because, like I said, problems because of change, right? And every single time there is change somewhere, it opens a door, right? So you just have to look for it. And that's the same thing as when I started the very first time. I remember one of my first pieces of software I've created was a WordPress plugin. It's a long time ago, a couple of years ago. And the reason why I found it wasn't because all of a sudden I was like, hey, that's a cool tool. No, I actually started looking like, what are the things that have recently changed in the marketplace, right? And when you start looking at changes, like there's always something changing that. And when things have just changed, there's probably not a lot of people who've adjusted to it, right? So back then, for example, one of the changes that was happening is that Facebook created a new kind of like a landing page inside your Facebook page. It doesn't exist anymore, like a welcome page, but it was brand new. And I was like, wait a second, if that's brand new, then probably we can create something for it. And that's why we created a WordPress plugin for it. But same thing right now, like look at, for example, recently I saw an ad for, I think it was Genius, of a company who clearly saw that like electric vehicles are the shit right now. Like a lot of people are driving electric, and obviously Tesla is super hot. So someone saw that as an opportunity, and they created bags, like actual bags that fit exactly inside your Tesla, in the front and the back room. And they were expensive. They were high quality leather, but just because they saw a change and a new opportunity, right? So whatever is in your market is going on, or if you haven't started a business, look at what kind of changes do you see and the things that you're interested in, because every single time something changes, right, there's an opportunity. So whenever you, on the news, you see something like, wow, like there's a major change, like, I don't know, someone going bankrupt, like a new law, a new feature, a new announcement from Facebook, a new announcement from Apple, even a new iPhone, for example, like every change creates opportunity. Does that mean that every time something changes, you have to jump on that opportunity? No, of course not, right? But when you really understand that with every change, there is opportunity, then also every single time you've got a problem, it will be easier to look at like what is that causing, right? So for example, with the Connect Explore issue that we had, even though like I felt sorry for myself and I was like, damn, what do we do now? Then I started diving really, really deep in like what is possible with the Facebook Ads API and how does Facebook Ads work. And I realized like, and I'm so happy it happened now because like if this issue wouldn't have happened, I would not have found what I have discovered. And with this new change, like Connect Explorer is going to be so much more powerful. Now, obviously we'll have to build it. So right now we're putting a team together as we speak, flying over to the team next week to make sure everything is going smooth and we have this out and ready as soon as we can. But like because of this issue, and I could have felt sorry for myself a long time, but instead started looking at like what does it actually mean, and if that wouldn't have happened, I wouldn't have discovered what I did. So unfortunately, I cannot really reveal what that is yet. And that's really what I wanted to share with all of you, that whenever there is change, there is opportunity. So the next time you run into a problem or you see something else change in your business, stop for a moment and really ask yourself, do some deep research and like, is there an opportunity that I'm missing? Is there something that because of this change is not possible, that wasn't possible before? Because if there is, then there's a good chance you are going to be first to market. And that's obviously a huge opportunity. And again, don't jump in all opportunities that you see. Usually I have a 2-week quarantine. Say like, hey, if I see a great idea, I'll wait for 2 weeks. If I still think it's a great idea, that's when I jump onto it, with some exceptions. Sometimes you just need to act swiftly and fast, obviously. So with that having said, I'll see you all soon. And obviously, I'm excited for, like I said, for the update of Connect Explore. So keep that in mind. And obviously, everyone who has Connect Explore will automatically be updated into the new version, which we're calling 2.0. So if you don't have Connect Explore yet, now is the time to get it. Cheers, everyone.